Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Color Me Bad Lynn with a big and bulky sweater trying to keep it all warm. Back again to share some absolutely amazing fragrances. I had a request from one of my subbies for me to come on and share unisex fragrances. Yeah, that's right, unisex. Anybody can wear them. They're labeled as unisex. Go for what you know and have a good time. Now, in my opinion, anyone can wear whatever they want. You buy it, you wear it, you enjoy it, you smell good all day, all night. Do it. But there are some fragrances that are unisex, meaning anybody can wear them, and that's how they are marketed. And today, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite ones in my collection. Not all of them, but some of my favorite unisex fragrances in mine. Yeah, me. Color Me's collection. Let's get into it. We have interrupted this fragrance chit-chat with a public service announcement. Wear your mask. Yeah, please. Anyway, let's get into it. You all well know, if you've been watching any of my recordings up until this point, that your girl loves her some unisex fragrances. I always joke about, I can't wait until I get married and and I get to go buy these fragrances. It's going to be a unisex gala event, because let me tell you something, I love unisex fragrances. Has nothing to do with getting married or anything like that, but I'm just saying, yeah, I love them. A lot of unisex fragrances have qualities in them that fragrances that are only geared toward women don't have, I should say. A lot of times they're a little bit longer lasting. They're a little bit darker, deeper, sensuous, sexy, seductive. I could go on and on. So I'm going to share a few of them that are my favorite from my collection. I am not going to go into great detail about any notations about these fragrances. I'm not going to make any promises about noting them in the description box, but I am going to give it a try, you guys. So let's get into it. In no order whatsoever, I'm just going to go ahead and share the ones. Most of these are already labeled unisex, and a couple of them are fragrances that I say anybody can wear them, okay? So the first one that I want to share, since I already had this one out, this one is, and I'm going to put my glasses on for this so I can read it correctly, because I know the name of it, but a lot of people get offended if you don't read the name of a fragrance exactly correct, right? So I'm going to read this. This is Kayali's Love Fest Burning Cherry 48 Eau de Parfum, and this is just a travel spray, okay? Now, I don't know if this is unisex or what's up with this fragrance, you guys, but let me tell you something. I'd heard a lot about Kayali's fragrances, and I always hear really good things about them. Some people say they last a long time. Some people say they last for about 2-3 hours and that's it, but they're amazing fragrances. All I can tell you is this is some of the prettiest fragrance that I have in my collection, and I'm being totally honest with you. I'm so glad that I indulged in this one. I just started off with the travel spray of this one, but when I get ready to re-up, definitely I'm going for the larger bottle. It is so beautiful, you guys. I'm going to share a little bit because they put some of the notes on the back of the actual bottle of what's in this. They have burning cherry. I should have kept my glasses on, girl, because I'm telling you right now, them words are little. I'm telling you, and I can see them, but I want to make sure I pronounce everything properly, okay? Because like I said, some people get offended if you don't pronounce and say every little detail. Burning cherry. You got raspberry. You've got praline, or as I've been told, if you're from the deep south, it's praline. You've got Palo Santo. You have guaiac wood, and then you also have patchouli, okay? This fragrance, you guys, is so beautiful, so sexy. You can smell it from the bottle. Everything that you've heard good about this fragrance, believe it. Believe it. It's so beautiful, you guys. If you haven't had an opportunity to smell this, get your nose on this, or if you don't have this one in your collection, I think this is one of the few travel sprays that I actually have in my collection. When this first came out, you know, I would have had no business shopping. But I kept hearing people talk about it, and I was like, I'm going to get this and try this. Let me tell you something. I had some reward points or something with, I think I got this from either Sephora or Ulta. Probably Ulta, because I go to Ulta a lot. And when I tell you, when I found out, honey, that I had some points, and this first came out, I said, let me see what they talking about. And you know, when I tell you, it's so good that this is from one usage. I'm going to bring this a little closer. Maybe 1.5, because I think I kind of doubled up with this. This is what happened to my Guess Red Seductive. Somebody on the internet said that if you couple this with the Guess Red Seductive, it's a home run. They told the complete and honest truth. And that's why I love watching and hanging out, or just kind of chit-chat it up a little bit with fragrance lovers, snobs, connoisseurs, etc., etc., etc. Because we give one another so many ideas on how to switcheroo. How do you do? When I tell you that this is one of those keepsakes, that's why I'm holding on to it like this. I sprayed a little bit of this out at bedtime the other night. I just wanted to just smell it. I was like, I feel like smelling like a little sweet burning cherries. This is so beautiful. All jokes aside, if you don't have this in your collection, a beautiful offering from K. Ali that was brought out last year, 2022. Love, love, love this scent. I'm definitely going to get the large bottle of this. I'm probably going to end up getting a small and a large, and keep, like when I wear this, keep the small one in my bag. It is that good, you guys. I love this fragrance. I really, really do. It was worth the coin. Again, I will definitely be re-upping on this one. This is definitely a repurchase, and definitely I want the largest bottle that they offer. Beautiful fragrance. Uni-Sex. Get you some. Okay, next on the list is another Uni-Sex fragrance that actually started out in my collection, or it's something that I've worn a couple times, and something happened with my order when I purchased this fragrance where they ended up sending me more than one bottle of this. Kid you not. This happens to me a lot. Don't ask me how or why, but I have a lot of fragrances, especially when I first started getting back into collecting fragrances, where I would end up with like double bottles of certain things. And I'm not bragging, I'm just being honest. And this is one of those fragrances. And I wasn't clicking on like 2 fragrances when I ordered them or anything like that. I just ended up with more than one bottle. Like one order was mixed up where I was missing something. When they resent the item out that I was missing, they ended up sending me duplicates of other things that were a part of that order. When I expressed to them that's what happened, they were like, go ahead and keep them for your trouble, blah, blah, blah. So that happens a lot. I'm not saying that's going to happen for you every time you call a company and tell them that you're missing something. But it's worth giving a phone call. It's worth inquiring about if your order isn't right, you guys, or something you paid your hard-earned money for something and it just isn't right. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and you never know what goodies you're going to get in your bag, in your box, when they send you out new stuff. So, and I think on this particular order, if I'm not mistaken, I think they actually refunded my money for this one or something. I can't remember. One of the bottles was leaking on this particular order, and so they ended up sending me another one. But when they sent another one, they sent 2 out. So anyway, did I say that already? Yada, yada, yada. You know me. I had a senior moment. So this one is from the House of Lattafa. I have to hurry up with this one because this actual bottle is not mine. It's not open yet. This one, it actually belongs to my youngin, my son. This one is Quaed by Lattafa. And I'm going to bring this in. Isn't this package absolutely gorgeous? So every now and then he'll look up and get something really, really nice for himself. Basically, because they'll either send me something extra, or, once a year we have birthdays and Christmases that come around. And I like to give away nice things. Sometimes I'm really, really nice. You know what I mean? This is the bottle. I had to wipe this down because, like I said, this came out of my son's room. And so here is the bottle here. It is absolutely gorgeous. You can see how good it is. You can I don't know if you can tell how much of the juice is missing. He's 15 years old. So this ought to let you know how good this juice is. It is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. Smoky, leather. Ooh, it's sweet. I didn't really know if he was gonna like this at first because he's a teenager. But like I said, I have more than one of these, and I didn't have anybody else at the time to gift this away to. And I think either it was for a birthday or something like that. I was looking for that one last thing. You know how you get things for birthdays? You say, I need one more thing, one last thing. And I was like, oh, I got a bottle of cologne that's just sitting, never been used, and it's unisex for men and women. This will be a nice added touch. Had no idea he was gonna like it. As you can see, it is almost gone. This is beautiful. If you love your oud fragrances, if you are familiar with the house of Lattafa, if you love a beautiful, sweet, smoky leather note, if you love oud, I highly recommend that you add this to your collection. I was really surprised and shocked when I got this, and that's why I was a little bit upset when my first fragrance of this I got. It was a leaky bottle, okay? And like I said, the company worked with me that I ordered this from, and when I ended up, I had 3 bottles of these, and if I'm not mistaken, they refunded my money, so I have no complaints with them whatsoever. Continue to shop with them, do business with them, the whole 9 yards. Which means, as a matter of fact, I got a cart loaded with them that's just ready to pull the trigger on. But this is good juice. So if you're looking for something that's gorgeous, extremely affordable, Quaed by Lattafa, unisex, get you some. I highly recommend that one. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever seen any of my recordings on speaking about the Al Rahab collection that I have, or how I love those fragrances oh so much. I've got 3 of them and 4 on my cart that I'm ready to send out. Yes, Lord, I told you I got me some stuff on my cart. I'm telling you right now, I've been a good girl. But these 2, I have 3 of them that I bought all at one time when I got these and added these to my collection some years ago. But these 2, all 3 of them are unisex, but these 2 are more so, in my opinion, unisex. Beautiful, beautiful fragrances. Again, if you don't have these in your collection, I highly recommend that you have them. This one is Al Haramain's Amber Oud Gold Collection. All I'm going to tell you is just get it. If you love tobacco, this one doesn't have tobacco. It's oud, it's cinnamon, it's juicy sweetness, it's all day long, it's sexy beast mode, mama girl, daddy boy, whoever you want to be, beast mode all day. And then the second one that I recommend, this one is Haramain's Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. If you can see that. So there are 2 different bottles. This one is amber, and this one is amber I have put up. This one is tobacco, and this one is gold. I highly recommend getting both, all 3. Any of these that you actually see when you're shopping for fragrances, I highly recommend that you just grab any of them. They all smell absolutely amazing. Okay, so where were we? So do you guys want to keep this going? I got like a whole bunch more to go. We can break this down into like 3 parts, but I pulled a whole lot out of my collection today. So if you want to keep going, I can't hear you. What you said? Yeah, keep going. Okay. So, all right. Okay, so let's do this one. So this one is really, really, really affordable. This is one of the newer ones to my collection with your little juicy pineapple self. And this is one of those ones, you guys, where the sprayer is kind of whack, but this smells so good to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ooh, juicy pineapple, sexy raspberry, Rom's Gold, get you some. And this is a Lattafa fragrance as well. If you look, it smells so good, you guys. And it is unisex. It smells absolutely amazing. I would love to smell this on a fine gentleman, my fine gentleman, nobody else's. This is some good juice right here. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Get you some. That took a whole lot of energy. Energy. Does anybody else break down words and really find out the actual origin and the meaning of a word? It'll blow your mind. It really will. Start breaking down your words and the comments and statements that people made to you, and kind of analyze them a little bit. It's words and comments and statements are deeper than what you really educate yourself. All right, so the next one on the list is Swiss Arabian Oud. I'm telling you right now, yes sir and yes ma'am, all day long, every day. This takes a very specific taste and fragrances. If you don't like a really sharp and clawing fragrance, if you don't like oud, you're not gonna care for this. This is some dynamic juice right here. I'm telling you, I got just a little bit left. I can hear just a little bit, just enough to set this thing on fire. I mean, if you can't have a little bit of fun, why do it? What's the purpose? Okay, so next on the list is Oud Mood. This is another Lattafa fragrance. Yes, I'm a Lattafa fanatic. I love Swiss Arabian. I love Al Harmain. I love Middle Eastern fragrances, you guys. And so you're going to hear me talk a lot about them as you have in the past. If you've been watching any of my other recordings, I'm not going to recant the fact that I stated that I love Middle Eastern fragrances. I do. They work so beautifully for me, and my body chemistry and my life has changed dramatically because of them. And so I'm going to continue on this journey and path that I have traveled with these fragrances. They do your girl right. This is the packaging here. I think I showed on a couple of other occasions that I have a gold box that's made like this too. I'm going to pull her out of the hat box. I wore this the other day just to kind of give it a test run to see what it would do for me. This is called Reminiscence. This had nothing to do with Mary J. Blige Reminiscence, none whatsoever. This is some of the classiest, sexiest, sophisticated, just absolutely gorgeous, you guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first break this out with the first 5 seconds, I was like, what made me buy this? And when it started to calm down and those molecules started to come together and work together and open up and develop on my skin, the process of glamorification began. This is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. The bottle is beautiful. The everything about this is really pretty. It is a unisex fragrance. It leans, in my opinion, when you first spray it out, more towards the male side of things. Nonetheless, this is definitely unisex. Anyone who wants to wear this absolutely can. I'm very pleased with this. I love green fragrances. I love fresh fragrances. I love fragrances that have a little bit of a tomboyish vibe to them, but are still sexy and feminine at the same time. It's like, it's not gender specific. You smell good and that's it, and it don't matter what you got on and who it's for. Get you some. Okay, so if you haven't noticed by now, I am an oud fanatic. I love fragrances with oud in them, especially during this time of the year. They are beautiful fragrances. I'm glad that I came to find a love for them, a passion for them, starting to study what oud is, different types of oud, what a good oud is, what a bad oud is. They're all just really good. And if you're not familiar with oud, what oud is, it is the resin and oil from wood. aged wood, really, really old wood. And if you can pull off wearing fragrances with oud in them, dynamically, like, it's something that's an experience. It really is. It's something that you really can't explain and describe. You really have to know how to wear and layer your fragrances in order to pull these types of fragrances off. I'm just gonna tell you, if you just spray these out on yourself on top of your clothes and walk out the door, somebody might ask you, are you okay? You really have to know how to layer your fragrances properly and apply them in the proper spots so that they don't offend people, especially if you're going to wear them to work and, tight quarter places. You really want to know what you're doing when you're dealing with these fragrances, because they are arsenic. Not literally, but they are the bomb, literally. All right, so since we're talking about oud, let's go with this one. This is another unisex fragrance that it smells absolutely amazing on me. I love this bottle. This one is Oud 24 Hours Eau de Parfum, and I think this one is from Ard Al Zarafam, if I'm not mistaken. I did pretty good on that one because I didn't look up any of the notes on those. So 24 hours, trust and believe. Very, very beautiful fragrance. It's so good. It's sweet. It's kind of got a little bit of a black licorice kind of candy vibe to it. This is beautiful. Even though we wear a lot of oud fragrances in the cooler weather around the time when we celebrate Passover, this is such a gorgeous fragrance during that springtime when it's still a little bit, it's warm, sometimes a little bit cool, sometimes a little bit rainy. Beautiful fragrance for that time of the year. It's so pretty. I haven't worn this in a while, so sometimes if I sniff a little bit longer than usual, you may say to yourself, girl, you should already know what these fragrances and cologne smell like. I do, but some of them, you don't wear them every day, and so when you sniff them, you get revisited with the vibe of the actual offering. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Again, Ard Al Zarafam's 24 Hour Oud. Beautiful, beautiful offering. The next one I want to share, since we're talking about 24 Hour Ouds, I've shared this one with you guys before. I believe I have. This one is Midnight Oud. Love the bottle. If you look up the information on this particular fragrance, you may find that some of the bottles are a little bit different. When I was able to add this to my collection, I looked up on this one. As you can see, this bottle is absolutely gorgeous. That's the only thing that keeps me from spraying all the way up on this one, because of the design. This is such a gorgeous fragrance. Again, if you are not into oud, if you don't like the smell of like oregano, pimento, sage, incense, frankincense, myrrh, those types of smells, you may not care for this. This is very, very different. It's really different. Very beautiful, perfect for this time of the year, especially around the holiday season. We just passed through Christmas, your Hanukkah season, and definitely mostly a wintertime fragrance. Very aromatic, very, very cool, crisp, clean. You would think that this would be really heavy and clawing. It's a balance of heavy and clawing and airy, light and aromatic, believe it or not. It has a really, really sweet component to this, almost with a little bit of a sugary, gingery, not cinnamon, like a tangerine, a orange, a pomelo. I would even say maybe like a little bit of a tropical fruit is in here. This is such a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This is another one from Ard Al Zarafam, and this one is called Midnight Oud. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're just getting familiar with oud fragrances, I wouldn't recommend jumping out there and grabbing that fragrance unless you just love all types of fragrances and it really doesn't matter to you. You're just getting into, you love to collect bottles. It's not that big of a deal to you. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous offering from Art Alzara Farm. Okay, we're getting there. I decided, because there were so many fragrances that are unisex, that I pulled from my collection, that I wouldn't get in depth with the notes, because I've probably already spoken about a lot of these fragrances at least once and shared the notes on these at least once. You're going to probably hear about one or the other of them again, because as long as I have them in my collection, we're going to chat it up about them more than likely. This is one of those fragrances on the video that I did when I was first learning how to record, where I got some feedback from my video where like the music in the background was too loud and all of that good stuff. But everybody loves this fragrance that's ever smelled it before. And so that's why I kept this recording up, because the numbers were really decent. And I was excited about that because it was one of my newer recordings. And I was like, I'm keeping this video up. Save yourself. So the fragrance that I want to come on and share with you guys is another oud. And this one is Badi Al Oud by Lattafa. But let me tell you something. When I say that this is a gooder, this is like top notch, and not for the money. I mean, you know, you can get this for under $100. They say that this is a dupe for something else. You guys who collect fragrances know what it's a dupe for, and what it's duplicating is way up there in price, unless you find a really good deal on it, worth every penny. I'm telling you right now, this is some good juice right here. Like, it's so good that when I spray it on myself, I feel kind of guilty. Like, girl, you know, you can't. I wouldn't even wear this to work. It's that good. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I wouldn't wear this to work. I probably wouldn't wear this to church. This is one of those fragrances for special occasions. Even if it's just in the house, hush your mouth. Special occasion. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that will get you impregnated. So be careful. Red light alert. And they go for me too. I got the Lattafa. You remember that song called Laffy Taffy? I better not have sang that song in my mama's house. She would have beat me to death. Okay, anyway, nope, sorry. Child Hotline, you didn't hear that. Alright, so this particular fragrance is called Chic Al Chouk. And I think I pronounced that correctly. I'm getting good at this, y'all. This is another offering from Lattafa. It is another oud unisex sexy fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that I just added to my collection this year. And as you can see, whenever I spray this, I have the I can't help it. It smells that good. Like, I just love oud, and I love Lattafa. Like, their fragrances just do something to me. And I was like, let me see how I want to smell when I get you some. Okay, this is getting really serious. We're getting down to like 2 or 3 bottles left of the ones that I pulled for this particular recording. We are probably going to do a part 2 of this. I don't know. You have to let me know down in the comments if you want me to do a number 2. This took a lot of hard work, you guys, because I had to go through all my stuff and like let it tell me that it was unisex, because I ain't got that kind of time. Do you? All right. So this particular fragrance, I know you guys have heard about this fragrance. You have probably heard the story on how this fragrance ended up in my collection. I got like 4 different versions. They're all told by me, and I'm not telling you any of them today because I don't want to bore you, right? So anyway, this is from Maison Margiela replica line, and this fragrance is called Jazz Club. So anybody, you know, if you know me, you know I am a jazz music fanatic. Grew up listening to jazz. And so who would have known as a kid listening to something that you didn't understand when you were a little kid, that you would grow up having to have it a part of your life on a daily. You know what I mean? Like, I can't live without my jazz. And so this is something in my collection that I really do cherish. I don't covet it or anything like that or worship it. But this is one of the most beautiful fragrances that I have ever owned in my entire life. And I'm telling you right now, I'm kid you not. This is called Jazz Club. This actually is a men's cologne that could be unisex. Some people list it as unisex. Some people list this cologne as men's. Like when I tell you this is like, listen, like if I start crying, this is so I get emotional. I get emotional. I've had this in my collection for a couple years now. You can see. I think I added this to my collection when it first, like around the time when it first came out. I kept hearing people talk about this, and I didn't have any fragrances from this particular house of fragrances. But I remember growing up, my mother always talking about Maison Margiela shoes and how she used to love them, especially when she was younger and didn't have any children. You know, the story always went like that, right? And so when I heard about this fragrance, I got intrigued, and I'm like, I don't think I have any of their fragrances in my collection. And you know what happens when you start doing research on perfume? You end up kind of sliding down this little rabbit hole trail of information, and before you know it, you done dug way deep down in your pocket, just like that third offering collection plate that come around in church that don't nobody know what the money is going towards. Jazz Club. Get you some. Okay, so you know I always try to save like the best for last. But you know, and I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that. But I have an anointing for picking out beautiful fragrances. I do. I promise you I do. Like blind buying, and you name it. Like I can pick out a fragrance I've never smelled before, never heard of it before, and be like, my spirit is telling me this fragrance is gonna be everything. And normally it's true. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not bragging or boasting, but I have the anointing when it comes to all jokes aside, I promise you guys. So I like to always end with a banger, but I have two. Okay, and I didn't know which one to leave last or whatever. So I'm going to show you both of the boxes, and then I'm just going to talk about both of them, okay? I want you to get a really good view of these. Just in case you take notes or you have a photographic memory, I want to make sure that you see these boxes very well. If you have yet to hear anything that I have said today other than wear your mask, get you some. Both of these fragrances are unisex. We will start with the offering from Banana Republic. Yes, Banana Republic has perfume. I'm telling you right now. This one is called Dark Cherry Amber. Some things you don't have to big up. They just speak for themselves. Then the last one from MFK, which is a Maison Francis Kurkdjian Paris. You guys know the house of fragrance. I don't have to big up them either. When I tell you, I sprayed a little bit of this behind my ear the other night before I went to bed. Just to kind of, I said, let me just put a little bit on and see, how good it still smells early when I get up in the morning. I can't tell you how I was smelling when I got up in the morning, but I can tell you how I smell when I lay down. If you do not have that fragrance in your collection, along with all the other fragrances that they make, why lie? Sometimes when you sometimes, most of the time, not all the time, you pay for what you get. Now I'm the queen of bargains. I love getting things with good deals. I love finding things that are just as good as the most expensive thing out there. And it smells the same, lasts the same, and costs less. I do. But every now and then, you just got to break down and get the good stuff. And I am here to tell you that this is one of the most beautiful oud fragrances that I have ever put my nose on. And I have plenty of them because I love oud. Oud fragrances work so beautifully for me. And when you find something that works for you, you ever seen somebody that wear the same hairstyle for like 50 years and they never ever change it, and it looks nice on them? It works for them. So they scared to change, right? They scared to make a change. I'm almost there with oud. Like, if it doesn't have oud in it, I really don't wear it, to be honest with you, especially in the winter months. This is such, well, I just kind of like, I didn't just lie to you guys, but I mean, I was trying to give you kind of like an analogy of where I was, you know what I'm talking about. You know that person, they never change, they just, because it works for them, well, at least they think it worked for them. You know what I'm talking about. Get you some. This is your girl, Color Me Bad Lynn, saying thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate all of your love and your support. I really do. I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. Welcome. You guys are awesome and you rock. I see a couple of people that are kind of like over on Instagram now and YouTube. So, hey, welcome. Super, super glad to have you. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for all of your emails, your well wishes. I will meet you over on Instagram. My Instagram is @colormebad_Lynn. I think that's right. It's hard to remember. If I haven't had an opportunity to wish you a happy new year to all. God bless you guys. More love, more peace, more happiness, more joy, more 100% natural fruit juices, 100% fruit juice, and more money. God bless you guys.